Hey guys, and what is up? It is Cinderash, and we're back with a patch 13 build for Psyker. As promised, I'm showcasing my friend Saren's Suppression Psyker build. It is very strong, and I am in love with it. I think it is very strong. It doesn't showcase the power fantasy aspect of Psyker, but it does allow you to be the one in control. So if you're more of like a control mage kind of player, or if there's a certain aspect of just, shocking people to death or anything like that that you're really enjoying, then this is definitely going to be the class for you. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to start off with the talent tree. And these are a little bit weird because we're kind of branching all over the place, so it's going to be a little hard to follow, but, try to keep up with me. So Soul Stealer, replenish 15 toughness on warp attack kills. You're not really going to be killing a whole lot, but it does help in case you do actually kill something. You'll mostly be killing the little guys, so that'll definitely help with keeping your toughness up. Replenish 5% toughness for each 10% of peril quelled. You are going to be quelling a lot in this build. It is very strong, but it does require you to basically almost always be quelling, just because of how much you're going to be using the shock aspect of it. Next up, we got Battle Meditation, 10% chance to quell 10% peril on kill, which again, you're hoping that you're basically indefinitely shocking, and this is definitely the way that you're going to be able to do it, with peril reduction gains, as well as just chances to quell any peril on any kills and stuff like that. So always a good one to pick up. Now, both of these are 15% toughness. You are going to want toughness for this build. A lot of it is going to rely on you not going down HP-wise, but keeping your toughness up as much as possible. And you don't have to take these both immediately out the get-go, because the main goal is always to rush down here as fast as possible. So you could pick one of these and then just continue down and then keep going from there. To where then we get Smite. And then you're going to want to pick up both because you want it to jump more often. And then you obviously want enemies that are hit by Smite to take 10% increased base damage from all sources. Meaning that you're going to be helping your Ogrins, you're going to be helping your Zealots, your Veterans, and other Psykers. Although, I would highly recommend that if you are playing with other people, whether by choice or by randomness, if you see another one with this specific Smite, don't run with the person. Reason being is that these won't stack, and again, this is a suppression build, so you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. It's going to be a lot of suppression and not killing. So having two, I don't want to say useless people, but having two supports and hopefully two DPSs is not going to go well for your guild and your battles and all that other stuff. Next up, 5% peril generation as well as 5% toughness damage reduction. And you're basically going to want to focus on rushing down to these. Movement speed is not reduced while quelling peril, obviously very useful for keeping up with everybody, so that way you're not forced into the back. You want to kind of be towards the front. So this is a very front-loaded Psyker build. You also want to take Inspiring Presence, and you're going to skip this one for now, but you can always come back and put this point in later. It's, again, another toughness damage reduction, which is always very nice. But you want 10% toughness replenishment for you and allies in Coherency. You always want to basically be in Coherency anyway, because you are a close range build. Kinetic Presence, 10% damage to Elite and Specialist for you. Again, this is just all stacks. This is all percentages stacking on top of each other additively. Some of it is multiplicative, and I hate that word, so you can make fun of me for saying it and pronouncing it wrong. I will try not to say that word a lot, but there is a chance that these all add up, or these all multiply each other, and it adds a pretty decent chunk of damage, especially when you're giving it to other people. Following up with one with the warp, again, toughness damage reduction based on peril. The higher the peril, the better it is, but again, we want to kind of be on the low end, where we're almost always pretty much just getting 10% flat anyway, so 10% flat is always really good, and then obviously if you need, 33% is always very good. Again, more negative peril generation. Telekine Shield right now is bugged. They are working on patching it as of this video. It may or may not be patched, so take note. But basically, this spawns an infinite bubble when you go down this line, just because of how odd the perk works. It's supposed to be one bubble and then it has a cooldown, and then you gain another bubble later, but it's kind of indefinite stacking bubbles on top of each other. So right now, this is really, really broken. Don't play it as that. Kind of play with like, oh, I could put one down, then maybe wait like 10 seconds, and then put another one down, that kind of thing. Obviously, we want the dome. The dome is the best one. The shield does last 20 seconds, but the bubble around you can break. There's a damage threshold that isn't written anywhere. And snipers and gunners, if they're hitting it a lot, they can break the shield faster. I've seen them break it within 12 seconds instead of 20. But I digress. It should hopefully get fixed. If not, blame Fat Shark. And then obviously, again, you want to keep taking it as hard as you can. 10% toughness inside, telekinetic shield. All allies gain 50% damage reduction for 5 seconds. Always really good for damage reduction. Peril regen, Puppet Master, 50% radius for coherency. Always good, you always want to be in coherency. 5% toughness, damage reduction. Again, you always want to have that damage reduction. Quell speed, increased. It's already really, really fast as is. This just makes it lightning quick. And if you have it on a staff, you might as well just tap whatever it is to quell your peril, and it's instantly gone anyway. Toughness boost, again. And then Warp Siphon, we want these warp charges because we want them to reduce our cooldown of our combat ability ASAP. And on top of that, we also want to, again, get peril generation reduction, so we're always infinitely shocking. We want to increase the damage, which, again, we're not going to be doing a lot of damage with this. It's supposed to be just kind of like suppression, but it still can do a little bit of damage, and it can kill what needs to be killed in giant groups. Psychic, obviously, whenever you and an ally in coherency kill an enemy, you want to gain warp charges. This is the best option between these two. And then, obviously, having 6 charges just makes you incredibly disgusting and strong. Next, we're going to be looking on loadouts. Honestly, for melees, you can run damn near anything. We probably won't be using our melee a whole ton this run. I like, on this character, the Atrox. The only reason I'm running it is because it's a damn near perfect roll. The highest you can get is a 550. I'm missing 3 points randomly from any of the modifiers down below, and I just wasn't able to get it. It's whatever. Perks, Flak Carapace. Honestly, if you were to run a melee on this, I would not recommend Flak or Carapace. I would recommend Unarmored and Infested, because you're not really going to be meleeing a lot of the big guys. They will one-tap you, you're made of paper. Blessings, again, I don't really use a melee. I just kind of have it as a flex. Decimator, chaining more attacks, more power. That's good for me. Limb Splitter, 60% power in your first attack every 5 seconds. That just stacks with Decimator. It makes it decently okay. It's nothing special, though. This, however, is your bread and butter. This is your Purgatus Staff. This is the fire one. The fire, very good. Lightning, obviously, you don't need it anymore. It got kind of gutted with the new talent tree for it. So instead, you're going to want to focus on this one. Flak, Carapace, Warp Charges, gain less charge time for the secondary attack. Secondary attack can cause some suppression, but you're better off kind of just throwing little bursts here and there. It does it a little bit better, but again, Terrifying Barrage, suppress the enemies. Always a guaranteed, given you need to get the tier 4 on your Purgatus Staff as soon as possible. It is ridiculous how big 8 meter radius on you is. It's huge. It's massive. Now, these are all going to be max health. Max health is basically all you need on Psyker. You don't even need a wound, just because of how strong Psyker is. Combat ability regen, damage resistances, that's kind of the stuff you're going to want to be looking for. Sprint efficiency would also be really good. I have Ordo Dockets on this one. I didn't really care about rolling better Curios for my Psyker. I'm not a big Psyker player, but I still play it when it's needed. Kind of like in this situation. Again, 20 max health. Revive speed, also really, really good. I would recommend, if you were to get revive speed on anybody, I would recommend it on an Ogren, just because you have the ability to res through being attacked. And obviously you want to get back to the fight as soon as possible. But there's also a veteran instant revive build out that is really disgustingly strong. If you guys want to see that one, just comment below and I'll post a build of that as well. And then we also have another 19%. If I could have got a 20, I would have. But you know, damage resistance to everything that I don't already have damage resistance to. Just makes us ridiculously tanky, and that's kind of all we want. Alright. So we are starting off, and as you can see, we are Complex Espionage, and it is a Tier 5 Damnation. You'll also see this scoreboard and a bunch of other garbage. I've downloaded a fuck ton of mods to make Darktide a little bit more enjoyable for me. So, this happened literally after I filmed 3 of these 4 build guides, just kind of like as, you know, stuff to bring it back, show it, you know, all that good stuff. As you can see, we're just kind of building up our peril. We quell it. Kind of just shoot it at whatever. The more damage we help to bring to people, the better. Kind of don't even need to really use any other weapons. These just kind of, you know, carry it out, hold everything down. You'll also see, like, health bars above certain enemies, and that's just because, well, more or less, I'm, using mods that allow me to see what exactly the HPs are on elites. And as you can see, this thing kind of just goes all over the place. And then I can, again, just kind of suppress everything, and everybody can kind of just do a fuck ton of damage. And it allows me to just, you know, hold things down. Because, again, this is just a suppression build. We just kind of want to hold things and make sure that they don't move while everybody just does a fuck ton of damage. And I really like it. You know, we'll also be able to eventually use our bubble for a lot of more generalized focuses. When there becomes issues like a lot of gunners, a lot of snipers, anything like that. And then anytime that we come across this, you know, we want to just make sure that we are building up our static electricity to make sure these guys can just easily mow them down. Especially works wonders on bulwarks like this. This is just great. Could just hold everything down. And everybody could just kind of do the big damage to it. Now we got a bomber, and then we got a mutie. We can also stun muties out of grabs, throws, anything like that. Just because it's pretty damn strong. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. I could use bubbles and prevent him from throwing grenades at us. Not that big of a deal. I don't really need to worry about it. Neither should our team. Since this will probably also be the last one that gets uploaded, one question I have for you guys, be sure to either leave a comment or come in the Discord and just ask me for any other builds that you might want to see. I'm always happy, and I guess the horde's back on everybody else, so I should rotate back. Alright, so there's a sniper. We want to make sure that we are safe. I'm going to put this down, so that way if I see the sniper again, I can ping it, but I think somebody killed it. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of unique and really fun and goofy builds that all work on Damnation, just because the game kind of, well, I don't want to be an ass and, you know, say otherwise, but the game got put on easy mode. Like, there is literally no reason to, really need build guides, but also at the same time, you know, anything can be a build. Anything can really work. Just as long as you have the right items and you have the right skill set. Yeah, as you can see, you can even stun them out of their runs. So it's like not even that big of a deal. You literally just stop everything. Everything becomes your bitch. See? You can even stop dogs from pouncing. You can stop poxbursters. You can pretty much prevent everything from being a threat. It really makes the game easy mode. The only thing that, you know, kind of sucks is, well, obviously making the game so ridiculously easy. But, you know, some people are like that. They're okay with it. Alright. Thing about the bubble is you can make it so that it spawns in front of you, behind you, and kind of aim it anywhere. And it's just really useful all around because it prevents, you know, bombs from coming in, prevents flames from coming in, puke. A lot of that stuff, it just gets thrown outside. But if they're on the inside, it doesn't go outside. But you as a team can shoot inside, outside, through and through. You know, it gets really crazy. Also, if you guys want a video on the mods that I'm using or how to get them downloaded, as you know, especially if you're a PC player, let me know. It's kind of easy to do. It took me a minute, but I'd be happy to teach you guys. It's really fun. And a lot of the mods are just kind of goofy. A lot of them are useful. Alright, this is a bad situation for me all around, and I need to quell a little bit, and then I can shock. Then I get stunned. As you can see, the flames do a lot of damage on the weapon, but I don't really necessarily need it, because again, I'm just kind of here to stun shit for everybody. Alright, looks like our guy's having a little bit of trouble here, so I'll just stun him, make sure that they can get the shots off that they need. Or in that case, the head burst, because it was the other Psyker. This is a really slow run. Not trying to, like, sound like an asshole, but, this has been ridiculously slow so far. How long have we been in here? We've been in here 9 minutes already. Average Damnation runs should take about 22 minutes, and we're not even at the halfway point yet. So it's definitely going really, really slow. But that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You got people not DPSing, or you got, you know, people not really working together. But I think a lot of these guys are just mat farming. You know, we're not really having that many issues. Nobody's gone down. Nobody's really had super low health that they need to worry about. Oh, I got grabbed. There's a demon host, so we have to be careful with where we shock, or if we even shock at all. Alright, so we want to put down our bubble, because we got a bunch of big boys coming through. We also want to quell real quick before we do this, and then we want to shock and make sure that everybody has something going out. Quell real quick, bring it back. Alright, so we have a sniper back here, so again, just put down our bubble, slowly move forward, let everybody else do all the damage. As long as we hold down the suppression, we should be good. Alright, we got another sniper, put a bubble up, just in case somebody was not ready. That's pretty much the whole thing, is like, if you see that red line coming, the first thing that you should do, just put down a bubble. And as you can see, that bubble also stops flamers, so, you know, flamer juicing can avoid it. Alright, so we just want to shock these guys and hold down the area. Good. We're able to get that, and then we just keep moving forward. Like I said, you always kind of want to be in the front line holding the shock, just so that way everybody else ranged can get in, melee can get in. As long as you're not up on them and you're kind of like dangling off to the side, you'll always do pretty well and be able to hold down stuff like that. I also inadvertently didn't realize I picked this map. This map's also really good for Bubble Psyker. So this is kind of a false positive on how well this build will perform for myself as well as for you, especially since this is actually my first time trying the build. I got it from my friend, immediately came in, decided to record it, said fuck it, why not? But this is why it's a false positive. This is the area where you have to, you know, do the little boopity boops. You can throw down a bubble. A lot of the guys in the back over there are going to be gunners and snipers. You know, like I said, false positives. I'll be able to more or less perform as intended. But still, it still will showcase the build and its powerfulness. Even if it is slightly skewed right now. Alright, put that down. And as you can see, why suppression builds are super strong in the meta right now. The area radius around you, no matter what you're using, when you have suppression on, is ridiculous. Everything just halts, and it won't hit you, won't melee you, won't do anything crazy. Alright, put another bubble down, just so that they can focus on the sniper without, you know, needing to worry about anything crazy. And then we can move forward. As you can see, like, I'm expecting my team to do all the damage. I'm just here. I'm holding down buttons. You can even see here right now, I'm doing 105k, so I'm still above our veteran, which is, again, another reason why I think plasma gun's absolute dog shit. There's no reason that on this build that does no damage, it just kind of holds things in place, should be out damaging anybody. But, yeah, you could see, obviously the other Psyker with the Brain Burst build, that's always popping heads, should be ahead. He's probably going to be one of our strongest here. Just simply due to the fact of how his build works, that, you know, always popping heads. He's always going to have damage going. And then, he's also doing a lot of overkill damage, which, that's bad. But it's fine in this situation, again, because of how the build works for that specific build. You're always popping heads, and the heads that you are popping are almost guaranteed to never be nearly as strong as what your Brain Burst can pop. So it kind of overkills a lot of things, but you still do quite a bit of damage. Keep down the suppression. Alright. Want to pop a bubble so that way we can move forward and not have to worry about that sniper, because there was a sniper somewhere that I cannot see. I also hear a dog. Yeah, and there's also this other garbage up here too. You know, Muty, again, stun it in place. Negate the whole fact that it exists. Don't need to worry about it. Probably need to kill those two over there too. The only problem is, it doesn't seem like my team focuses a lot of the stuff that I'm shocking if it's off to the side and not directly in front of us, which isn't a big issue. But it does kind of need me to put on ping on a different button instead of middle mouse button, just because of, you know, the stun and shock are in the same place, and then if I let go of my fingers to middle mouse click, then it just ends the shock preemptively. Not a big deal, though. Oh, there's a sniper. 1 second on bubble. Bubbles up. And then we can just shock. Team is a little bit behind me, which is bad, so I'm going to just pull back. It's a shame that I more or less wasted my bubble, but I'd rather push back to my team and let them do what they need to do in situations like this. There we go. I was sadly a little bit too far away from my lightning. As you can see, again, another reason why this needs to be all the way up front. So this is another beautiful thing that's coming from the build itself, is that the lightning will cause a lot of damage to the Beast of Nurgle. And you can see kind of how much damage the Beast of Nurgle has on higher difficulty. But as long as I'm shocking it, we do 10% increased damage, and then obviously all that is good, and then keeping that Beast of Nurgle suppressed, as well as keeping the Muty suppressed, adds up. So we'll put this down so that the Beast of Nurgle is not puking right on top of us. And as you can see, it gets blocked entirely by the shield. Don't even need to worry about it. So we'll do one more shock, and then I will put down the bubble again. So that way it doesn't cause him to puke on us at all. And then keep shocking. Keep everything suppressed. Beast of Nurgle is now also down, so these guys should have more than enough damage to clear out the rest of the stuff. And then, again, just hold down all the elites, so that way everybody can kind of focus them. It's a shame that we lost one of our players, but having a bot on this difficulty is not super bad, and I think it was the veteran that we lost anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm slowly closing in on our Zealot even in damage. So that just kind of even shows you just, you might not be doing a ton of damage, but as long as you have people that are doing damage, you'll be fine. And then, of course, just, you know, holding down the damage on everything else that you could get ahead of. Hold it down, get some pings going, so that way people know what to look for. You know, that's all that matters. Accidentally, thought we were in the second phase already. Wasn't really paying attention. Alright, so we'll put a bubble down for our team. That way we could just shock this. Shock anything else close by. Shock that Poxburster so it blows up over there. Shock that Poxburster so it blows up over there. Also, Poxbursters. I should mention this just because it's our team and everything else. And especially just in these videos, I like to give little tips and tricks here and there. If you shock a Poxburster and it falls on its ass, and you keep shocking it a little bit, I'm not sure if it's designed to do this intentionally or not, but it does blow up. So there's no need to do that. Also, as you can see, I still have my bubble up. But because of how much damage was done by previous gunners, it pretty much expired, but it was still up. It's one of those weird bugs. Alright. Put that up just in case any bombers and the stuff in the back that I didn't see in the kill feed are throwing bombs at us while we're in the center. Don't want that to happen. Then obviously, again, just keep everything suppressed. And then rotate back to objectives as needed and just kind of hold things down for the team. It's not always best for you to do the objectives, but I know that a lot of people are very much, I'm a KDA player, I want to be top on everything, that they won't even do the objectives. But on my other 3 builds, they are all pure damage, no overkill damage. You will always be the top of the leaderboard, and you should always also do the objectives. Because, again, it's a team game. As long as you work as a team and you do what you're supposed to do, then you'll have no issues, and you'll be able to have a very fun time here on Darktide with just having any of the builds just doing a lot of damage and just kind of being overpowered in general. Again, that bubble definitely wasn't any 20 seconds. I'm sure if my editor were to put it down from the bottom and then actually count the time on the seconds and everything, it definitely wouldn't have been 20. It was probably closer to maybe 12, maybe 15 at the most, but those gunners shoot through the shield really, really quickly. Alright, so we'll go up top for the realigning the data. We'll also just kind of shock shit as we move across very slowly just to make sure everything's suppressed and held down until we have to realign the transmitter. I think it'll be up here, but Yep, here it is. And now we can just move towards the exit. The rest of the team should be fine without me, because at this point, we are focused on just completing the objective and getting the hell out of here. Ayy. Alright. Again, we'll just throw down a bubble. Should be pretty big, so nothing will shoot through it, get to us from any direction, as we just sit in here and wait for everybody else. So again, as you can see, obviously, Sturm's build, very, very strong, holds things down, pops their heads, all that kind of stuff. But with me, you know, it's all about that suppression build. We just kind of want to hold things down, make sure that we're not doing any of the damage. We just want people to be able to kill shit for us, and make sure that they have the easiest time possible while killing things. As you can see, the veteran, or not the veteran, the Zealot eventually got a little bit more ahead of me, which is good because that's kind of what I was hoping for. Otherwise, I would probably recommend that guy to get a different build. But overall, very, very good, and it was a very fun time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the build and liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one.